which other people have raised before. 34 from 34As, 34Bs, etc., were uploaded, and they are transparent as it can be. The issue is that if you are so familiar with this process, and if you have done research on this process, you will say, were those forms valid in terms of qualitatively? On the face of it, they are okay. But if you have done research, no right to speak. Trust but verify. Karl Marx. If you look at the security features, some forms, even from Muranga, one or two, some forms were initially posted blank, etc., etc. You would say quantitatively, the numbers in many of them don't add up in a substantive manner, etc., etc. Even those forms that they are talking about. Lastly, on the issue of forms, thirdly, is the question of who uploaded those forms. Were they witnessed? Why didn't IEBC give? IEBC, it appears they were instructed, because in many polling stations, and I was also an observer. In fact, I played a role in almost across, from the word go. Wherever there was opportunity for public participation, I did it. I'm talking of what I know, not what I think. Please, I used all the 5 senses, not just one of seeing. So is that okay? So who uploaded this? Were they witnessed? And they were supposed to give a snapshot. POs were supposed to leave a snapshot for agents, and also pin on there. They refused in the ministry. We are talking of what we know. Those are not things you take for granted if you see a few forms there. So please, and we know, and we have said before that it's unfortunate Kenyans of IBC officials have died. There is simply no excuse. And we condole with the families.
Prof, before I let you go on that point, because what Cecilia was raising is a question that many people are asking. Yes. And Chebukati raised this in his statement yesterday and said that the 2022 general election is the most transparent election that the Commission has ever held. Yes. All results from Forms 34As were uploaded in real time and are available in the public portal. So are the Forms 34Bs and all these things. Yes. We've had organizations that have tallied the numbers that do exist in this portal. They're almost arriving at the same figure. Yes. So what you are saying, are you disputing that the forms that were uploaded in this portal, some might have been fake?
Not, yes. And that's a major issue. And if you were to tell you, of course, you will get the result, same result.
But you see, Prof, I just want to add on to that. Yes. You know, we are outside here, and we are observers. And we believe whatever we are told. Yeah. So if an IBC official, in this particular instance, the vice chairman of IBC tells us it was opaque. Is IBC that's telling us that it's opaque? It is not us. Us, in fact, we are happy. We said, you know, IBC is very transparent. But no less than the chair lady.
4 of them.
IBC and 4 commissioners. In fact, they used the word opaque. Do we still sit outside here and insist that it was transparent?
Yeah. Relatedly, you know, there is this issue of, again, this is not transparency. If we cannot establish from those forms, and IBC could not commit to one number on the turnout. Was it 12 million, as they said at first? Right. Was it 13 million? Was it 14? Or was it 14 million? And even within the 14, the numbers keep changing. Please, remember, viewers, these are serious issues. When they talk about the issue of valid votes, it keeps mutating. And also the issue of observers. We addressed the issue of observers yesterday, and I can say it differently today without repeating. Don't over-rely on observers because of methodological, legal, and political reasons. They are important. Yes, exactly. But observers and monitors, and I've served as observers. Even this time I was also observer.
Were you an observer for the Azimio side, or were you an observer on the Kenya Kwanza? Or
I was observer under ICJ to observe the stations generally. But at the very telling, I was an agent, and therefore, let us say this. Let's read all the observer reports, 2020, and we can go back to all those other situations. And the observers, most of them who are sincere, and I want to say categorically, observers are very important. And these days we have monitors. monitors, and monitors ought to also make certain comments during the process. And observers have themselves acknowledged that, you know what, constitutionally, you know, they can't ask so many questions and can't demand so many things as observers. So that's a constitutional hindrance, which agents can do, but they can't. So we must observe, note those things. Secondly, a methodological problem. Observers have said that, do you know what? We only observed in the following number of polling stations.
Exactly. It's a sample.
So you can't expect them to have noticed everything. Even if they do the telling, they cannot easily tell you in details about process. But we are focusing on process.
But Prof, we're about to take a break.
Yes.
Before I lose my point,
yes.
Are you raising these issues and these discrepancies as an individual or the observer group that you are representing? These issues that you've just raised, were they noted down? The issue of the forms 34As in the portal not being the authentic forms.
Some observers, we discussed with them, etc., and therefore I'm raising these issues as an individual who had studied these issues, who participated and who noted a lot of this.